Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
Basically go through where we are now, from like say almost 1857, when Ranjit Singh's Raj and that fell, from 1850s to now, what's happened to our Panth. And the point of that is because a lot of people are looking at 84, but they're not seeing it in context. So all they think about is Sant Jarnail Singh Ji, that's it. They don't know anything about what was happening in the wider context of things. Yeah. So this leaflet we made, this is kind of like allowing people to see what happened before 1984, what happened in June and November, and then what's happened since. So hopefully we'll cover these 4 bits today. Yeah. Let's just go through this. So pre-1947, we're all happy, yeah, that the India was ruled by the British. Happy with that part, yeah? And the thing is, the British Raj didn't start over whole of India straight away. It started from the south, from Madras area, Bombay, and it started coming upwards. And they didn't quite get the Raj over Punjab straight away. Ranjit Singh had his kingdom, okay? He became the king of Punjab in about 1801. 1799, 1801, he became the king. So we had 100 years from Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj to when Ranjit Singh took over and became the king of Punjab. In that 100 years is when the Sikhs were in the Missile period. Yeah, they were in different groups. Finally we consolidated. We had the two Kalukare, Ahmad Shah Abdali, all those things. And finally, in 1801, we have our own king. And it's Sarkar-e-Khalsa, on paper, it looks like a Sikh kingdom. And it was, yeah. But majority of the Sikhs were not in the majority in our kingdom. It's a very important point to remember. We were not in the majority, but we still ruled over Punjab. We had no problem ruling over an area, but we were in a minority because there was no democracy. Yeah. Democracy, you see in our history, has been one of the problems that we're facing. This idea that democracy is good. Yeah. So anyway, Ranjit Singh had his Raj. Sikhs were doing well. It's a very prosperous Raj. Sikhs were, everybody prospered in Punjab, whether you were Hindu or Muslim, whatever. It was a very good time to be a Punjabi. British came over and effectively they annexed the kingdom in 1849. But Ranjit Singh had died about 10 years before that. So it took about 10 years from 1839 to 49 where they kind of killed off the Punjab kingdom. Much of that was done by treachery. Yeah. They would get one group of people and they say, look, we'll give you this extra land if you do this bad for the Khalsa Raj. So a lot of people sold us out the river, and then in the end, after 10 years of this kind of infighting amongst the Sikhs and this betrayal and a couple of Anglo-Sikh wars, we lost our kingdom. Yeah? And we became part of the British Raj. Again, one thing you got to understand, as soon as the British took over Punjab, Sikhi started to go downhill. Okay? A lot of the Sikhs got killed that fought fighting the British. A lot of them went away. And in many ways, one of the things I believe is that the British were maybe worse for Sikhs than the Indians or the Hindus ever were. It's debatable. They destroyed a lot of Sikhi. The Singh Sabha movement came around to kind of bring back Sikhi to Punjab, people converting to religion, to Christianity, etc. And what you get then is a revival movement in Punjab. Within this revival movement, what you then end up with is a Sikh sort of becoming part of the independence movement. Now you all hear about the Sikhs as brave fighters, independence, yeah? Anybody want to tell me what might have motivated a Sikh to go and fight for the British in Europe? Why would they have done that? What do we tend to tell people that? Why did they? That's all. Why do you say the Sikhs went to fight in the world wars?
That's what they knew.
That's what they knew? Okay, so they were soldiers. Yeah, the soldiers obviously that's what they know, soldiering. Yep, they get told what to do, they do it. But there was one other reason. The English had promised India independence if they helped them in the World War, especially World War II. So in fact, many Sikhs went over there just to give India freedom. It was like they were like, if we go and do this for the British, they will leave India. So it was actually a very patriotic act to go and fight in Europe. After fighting for independence against the British, literally fighting, like Bhagat Singh, etc., and also fighting for the British to fulfill those pledges so they can get independent. India was finally given independence. समझ रहे हो? In 1947. The context to previous to that is this. There was three main groups. One thing you might know, the Indian flag is what colour is it? Orange, white and green. Before it used to be white, orange and green. Why do you think that is? Who knows about what do they say about that flag? What colour was it? Why was it that colour?
Does it have to do with what the colour symbolizes and the priority of the nation's beliefs? Something like that?
Nowadays they've got a different translation of that flag. What it used to be is Sikhs had orange, Hindus had white, and Muslims had the green. Now they've totally taken that away. They take that meaning away. The reason white was at the top was because the Hindus are first, then Sikhs, and then Muslims. But what happened is there was lots of independence movements that were happening, and they would always say to the Sikhs, "Go to the front. Tusi more ho jao. There's going to be bullets coming our way. Put the Sikhs at the front." So the Sikhs said, "If you're going to put us at the front, then put our colour at the top." And that was the shart of the Sikhs to do that, to go to the front of one of these. Where they were going to die, a lot of people were going to die. And they said, "Oh, if we're going to die, we want something back. Put the orange at the top, Nishan Sahib." So what happened then is that's how the Indian flag came about. Okay, so just to remember that, when you look at that flag, in us now it's the Indian flag. We've got our hissa in there as well. The orange bit is ours. Yeah. When we burn it, we're kind of burning that the sacrifice of all those Sikhs as well, in a way. Okay, so Sikhs fought bravely for independence. Although we were 2% of the Indian population, we got 80% of the sacrifice in the freedom struggle were given by the Sikhs. The three main parties at that time, the Muslims, the Sikhs and the Hindus, basically they were deciding what should we do next. The problem facing the Sikhs was this. Now many people nowadays, they blame Tara Singh. Have you heard that? They say Tara Singh ne mara kita. He let us down. Let me explain to you what was the situation so you can understand him a little bit more. Tara Singh was in an unenviable position. The system post-independence was going to be democracy. They couldn't choose that. Democracy was going to be put into place by the British. Okay? So what was the problem was that if you had made Punjab its own country, Sikhs were less than a majority, a lot less than a majority. There was mostly Muslims, there was a majority. It was like 60% Muslims. And then the 40% was divided between Hindus and Sikhs. So the Sikhs were facing the idea that they get their own kingdom, and then their parliament and all the prime ministers are Muslim, because they're like the majority. So they weren't really keen on that idea either. They were like, this doesn't sound like a good idea to us. And so Tara Singh was thinking, what can I do? And Nehru and Gandhi made him promises. They said, you know what, if you join up with us, we'll make sure you get your own Sikh kingdom up in the north. Yeah? You join us, we'll promise you the glow of freedom. Nehru made open promises. Gandhi made written promises. And the Sikhs trusted them because the alternative wasn't worth it for them. And they actually went for a country which was, they joined up with India, hoping they would get their own land within India. And India is called the Federal Republic of India. You are aware of that? It's a federal republic. And America is a federal republic. And every state has got different laws, isn't it? Many states are different. So India was supposed to be like that. They were trying to model themselves on America. And it wasn't supposed to be a centrally controlled government, it was supposed to be federation. And they thought, well, we can be one country within the federation, have our own state. And that was the idea that the Sikhs were facing. They were thinking, that sounds like a good idea, we have our own Sikh state. The promise made by Nehru and Gandhi was, after independence, every state will be divided by language, linguistic separation. So if you spoke Gujarati, everybody who spoke Gujarati would go into a place called Gujarat. If you spoke Tamil, they would make a state called Tamil Nadu. Everybody who spoke Tamil went in there. If you spoke Marathi, Maharashtra. Here's what happened to us. As soon as independence came, it took about 3 years to get the constitution sorted. So 1950, really, the constitution was put into play. And Punjab was the only state not to have its border divided by linguistics. So for some reason the Punjabis couldn't teach Punjabi in their schools. The language of Punjab was Hindi, even though everybody spoke Punjabi. So what happens post-independence is we get let down. We're very dukhi. Yeah? I said in here, Sikhs are classified as Hindus in the constitution. Punjabi doesn't become Punjab's first language. 75% of the water, 70% of the revenue sent is of Punjab is sent to other states. Yeah? And the government literally almost writes it into their parliament. They tell their people, Sikhs are like a Hindu sect. They need to come back into Sikhi. They need to come back into Hinduism. We don't need them to remain Sikhs. They said to everybody, they don't need to be Sikhs now. They've done their job. They're supposed to free us from the Mughals. Mughals are gone. They're supposed to free us from the British are gone. So they don't need Sikhs anymore. Yeah, this was like a mentality that was spreading all over India. And obviously, when they said to Nehru, "You promised us this, our own nation, etc." Nehru said, "You've missed the boat. But if you wanted your own country, you should have got it when it was being offered to you from the British, because now you've missed the boat." So the Sikhs are very dukhi. Yeah, the problem with the Sikhs is that they've basically gotten used to the English system now of democracy and protests. So what they start to do is they start to do what they can. They start up a protest movement called the Punjabi Suba movement. Just to take a bit of a poll, from what I was just talking about now, how many people are already comfortable with that? Was that quite stuff that you already knew before you got here? Okay, all happy with that part? When independence happened, we suffered the most. 60% of all the Sikhs in the world became refugees. Do you know about that line that drew up between Punjab and India? It's called the Radcliffe line. Radcliffe drew that line within about 2 months. That was it. He had 2 months to draw a line between Punjab and India, between Pakistan and India, and the line went through Punjab. Radcliffe didn't leave Delhi. He just liked to live in Delhi. He liked to live in an air-conditioned office. The people that were advising him were the main politicians of India. Basically what they did is destroy our main center of power. Lahore was our political capital, Amritsar was our religious capital, and they drew the line right between. Yeah, that didn't happen by accident. Really, it was a Sikh Raj capital, innit? So it should have gone into Punjab. Yeah, now it's a Muslim country, and they just kicked out. Basically, we suffered a lot. 1 million Sikhs died. 1 million Sikhs in 1947. Yeah. After all of this, we get let down, and the Sikhs are very fed up, and they said, right, let's do a Punjabi Suba movement. We were very peaceful. The narrative, you know Harinder Singh from Sikri? Yeah, Sikh Research Institute. He's done some great speeches on this. The narrative is very simple. Every time we try to protest about our rights that they promised us, what they would do is become violent. When we started protests against their violence, then they would kill people. And then when people got a bit angry and protested a bit violently, then they said, you're all terrorists. So what they would do is they would put you like a dog in the corner, They keep poking you, hitting you. And then when you start growling at them, they go, "Dekhiya pagal kutta hai." It's a crazy dog, look at it. It's growling at me. Yeah? And the thing is, we always fell for this game. Continually we fell for this game. Yeah? They would say, you can get this. We took it. We didn't get it. We protested. Then they just came down hard on us. The Punjabi Suba movement, in 1960 alone, 26,000 Sikhs were arrested. 26,000 people arrested. What did they want? Look at the name. Anybody tell me? Punjabi Suba movement. What do you think they wanted? Was it Khalistan? What was it? Huh?
The rights that were promised. The rights that were promised by Nehru.
No, not even that. Punjabi Suba, Hanji.
The access to the rivers?
No. It's in the word. Punjabi Suba. They wanted to teach Punjabi to their kids. All this movement was about trying to get Punjabi to be taught in Punjabi in Punjab. They wanted people to teach Punjabi as the first language in Punjab. I'm trying to get you to understand how ridiculous it was. Everybody else got their language, and they got to teach Gujarati in Gujarat, Marathi in Maharashtra, Tamil in Tamil Nadu. But in Punjab, you couldn't teach Punjabi to the kids. This is all about language. Why do you think our language is so important? Why do Sikhs feel so strongly about their language? Gurbani. What was the real target? Sikhi was the real target, isn't it? If you break Sikhs from Gurbani, that's it. They can't. What's happened to all of us? Look at the West. ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ? We lost Gurbani. Virla a few people that can actually read Bani properly and understand it. Even me, look at I'm trying to do Katha, I can't read Gurbani properly. We've been broken from our language for that reason. Okay, this is where we get our power from Gurbani. Yeah? And they knew that as well. So anyway, we protested for the right to get our language. Many Sikhs died just to get the language of Punjab. And in the end, the government said, we can't give you this old big Punjab that you had. If you want to have a state which is majoritarily Punjabi speaking, then we're going to do a survey of who speaks Punjabi. And we'll give you a state that fits into you that speak Punjabi. We said, okay, do a survey. They made it into a Hindu-Sikh thing. They didn't make it into a Punjabi versus Hindi thing. They made it into a Hindu versus Sikh thing. And what they did is told all the Hindus, if you say your language is Punjabi, then you are giving power to the Sikhs. So all the people that were Hindu, that spoke Punjabi in Punjab, started saying, we're not, Asi to ji Hindi bol rahe hain. Someone said, this is how they would answer. What language you speak? Appa ji Hindi bol rahe hain. Yeah? They can't even speak Hindi, but they're saying we speak Hindi. All of this was, they're trying to make something which was political into an inter-religious argument. Sikhs didn't have anything against Hindus, but they try to make it into a Hindu-Sikh thing. And now what's happened is we've bought that narrative. Now we start having anti-Hindu feelings inside the Sikh Panth as well. Now there's Sikhs that don't like Hindus, even though this was not about Hindu versus Sikhs. This is about the rights of the Punjabis to speak Punjabi. So, in 1966 then, we finally get a Punjabi language state, but that's that little bit of Punjab now. It looks like the heart of a butterfly. Before there was like a butterfly, and then it got chopped in half, so half went to Pakistan, half went to India. Now that butterfly, they carved out and got rid of all the wings, and all you got is that little bit in the middle. That's Punjab now. Yeah, it's a third of what was in India at that time. Himachal Pradesh got created, Haryana got created. We finally left with this little Punjab, but it is a majority Sikh. Sikhs are in the majority in Punjab. So we've got like 52% or 55% or whatever Sikhs. Yeah? And then they gave us a language we can teach Punjabi there. But here's what they did. They took away the capital. Who knows the capital of Punjab? Is Chandigarh in Punjab?
No.
It's the capital of Punjab. It's not in Punjab. Where is it? It's not in Haryana. Hey? Yes, on the border of Haryana and Punjab. What is that called? Union Territory. What does that mean? Does it belong to Punjab? Does it belong to Haryana? Central government has that. The central government owns our capital. Punjab doesn't have the capital. And what do they speak in Chandigarh? Hindi. So you want to become a politician in Punjab, when it affects your area, you go to your capital and what do you speak there? Hindi. Again, so if you want to move to business, the capital is a business center, you go there, you speak Hindi. You do business in Hindi, all the schools teach Hindi, all the universities in Chandigarh speak Hindi, all the politicians speak Hindi, right? The press is in Hindi. So your intelligentsia, your highest people that are like supposed to be leading the language forward, they're all speaking Hindi. Again, now Punjabi is seen in Punjab as an unpad language. It's seen as an uneducated language. They want people to speak Hindi because that's like the posh language. Okay. We're also, alongside denying us our own capital, which is actually unconstitutional, every state is supposed to have its own capital. Only Punjab doesn't have its own capital. Yeah? Alongside that, they took away some key powers from the Punjab government, that the government took it for itself. The central government took some powers away from Punjab government, that other states don't have that problem. And the main one was that Punjab cannot set the same price for its agricultural products. So the price of wheat in Punjab, the price of rice in Punjab is not controlled by the Punjabi farmers. The government says, this is the price, like it or lump it. So if they want to trade with the rest of India, they can't trade. It's not a free economy. You know, in Europe, I can go and sell something in France if I want. Yeah, it's just a free economy in Europe. In India, it's not a free economy. Punjabi farmer can't get his truck, fill it up with his wheat and drive across the border and sell it for a better price somewhere else. Not allowed to. Must sell it to the government as a government price. Yeah. I'm trying to make you understand how inequality was institutionalized. Yeah. That's why Sayyidina Nasruddin would say stuff like, if you don't know that you are slaves, you are not woken up yet. Yeah. One other thing they would do, alongside the wheat and all the rest of it, is they flooded Punjab with what they call the Green Revolution. Because India needed food. India was getting very scared of the food famine that was going to come. People were predicting a food famine. So they picked Punjab and they flooded it with agricultural chemicals. They said you must take out loans. And how they sold it to the farmer was very clever. So the World Bank does in developing countries. They go to places and they say, look, you know what, your current yield is X. If you install an electricity generator, a water pump, a well, and you buy all these chemicals and these seeds from us, your yield will go to Y. Yeah? They say the money you will get in between will pay off this debt in 2 years or 3 years. And after that, you're going to be making money like no one's business. And they show you all the theories, how it's going to work, yield from here to there. They sell you the dream. And Bichara farmer thinks, must be great. Yeah? So they buy into it. They take out loans. They invest in tractors, water pumps, everything is done. And they start doing farming. And yields go up. But suddenly, they don't go up as much as they were promised. And then slowly they start to come down. And the company says, you know what, if you want to get the yields to go even higher, you have to buy some more pesticides. You have to buy this special grain. Then the grain that they're planting, it doesn't grow its own seeds. So next year, that grain is what you call impotent in the sense, yeah? It doesn't give grains that actually germinate. You can eat them, but you can't germinate them. So then you have to buy more grain. So the farmer's trapped now. Normal grains won't grow in that crop. It won't grow there because there's too much chemicals in there. Now they need to buy the chemicals, need to keep on buying this grain, and the yield keeps going down and down and down, and the government is setting the price. The price is not good enough, farmer can do nothing about it. So now they're in a cycle of debt, and their loans are really high percentage. They can't pay off the debts. That's where you get the farmer suicides. The farmers are killing themselves, not because they want to kill themselves, because they can't see how to get out of this debt cycle. They just can't see it. The land cannot grow enough food to pay off the debt. The debt's getting higher and higher and higher. So they just, you know what, the guy can't cope with this. They hang themselves. This is all government policies. Also, Punjab has the highest tax rate, one of the highest tax rates in India. And it has the lowest investment rate. So the government's taxing the hell out of Punjab, but it's not investing anything in jobs and anything in Punjab. So what you've got is this crazy situation where Punjab's economy is just tanking. Even though it's making all the food for India, Punjab's economy is tanking. Sarabjit Singh on TV makes a very good point in his video. He said, you know what? You get people from Punjab coming across on ships, on lorries. They come across from Russia. They go all the way across Europe. They live a horrible life. They sometimes spend 9 months to 1 year coming all the way from Punjab to the UK. Kinna kut khande hege. What dirty jobs they do on the way up here. How much land they sell. They come there, they can't get jobs, and they sleep under bridges. Sometimes they're sleeping amongst rats. They're sleeping in the bins. You know those big buildings? They have like a bin room at the bottom where you throw your rubbish in a chute and it goes to the bottom. They're breaking into those rooms. They're sleeping in those bin rooms. Yeah. But they won't go back to Punjab. So what is so bad with Punjab that people are prepared to go through all that and live in rubbish, right? Earn £20 a day doing hard labour, but not go back to Punjab. And yet people from Gujarat, people from Maharashtra coming over here and England, they got their CVs full of great degrees, and they're going into programming jobs. How many Punjabis do you know that go into programming jobs? They come from India. How come they don't do any programming? Indians are known for programming. They go into scientists, maths, chemicals. Punjab hasn't got that, is it? They come over here and they become builders, taxi drivers, low-skilled jobs. Because in Punjab, the education is not being done. They're not educating the Punjabis. They're not investing in education. So they're doing unpaid jobs because they can't do anything else. They're not being taught properly. When I was in Punjab, this is 13 years ago, there was a school, the kids in that school didn't have the teachers there. The teachers wouldn't turn up. So the kids would go to school every day, they just toss over there. Teachers wouldn't turn up. Teacher absenteeism is probably the highest in Punjab. No one cares. They're not interested even in educating, even if you've got people there. The system is really messed up, education-wise. Okay, anyway, moving on through. So you've got, why I'm divided into 4 phases, because you must remember, the very first thing we went for was the Punjabi Suba movement, to get a Punjabi-speaking Punjab. Once we got that Punjabi-speaking Punjab, we had a real problem because it wasn't a very good Punjab to live in. So then we launched the second movement, the Taram Yudh Morcha. Then we had the Anandpur Sahib resolution. Okay? So you can see this. So what happens is, 1971, 250,000 Sikhs demonstrate for the Anandpur Sahib resolution. Yeah? They say we want this resolution. If you go online and type that Anandpur Sahib resolution into Google, you can find the 15 points. Do you think Khalistan is one of them? Were we Khalistani then? What were we asking for? Human rights? What else? Economic rights? Social rights? And where were these rights already enshrined? The rights you were asking for, where were they already written down?
In the Constitution.
In the Indian Constitution. So we're saying, hey India, why don't you follow your Constitution? And what are they saying? Khalistanis. So you guys are separatists. We're trying to make India follow its Constitution, they're saying you guys are the terrorists. We're protesting peacefully, they're saying you guys are the troublemakers. They're violent, we're peaceful, we get framed as the terrorists. It's a bad media game, very horrible media game. And we didn't have our own press. We should have invested in our press in 1920s. Should have had newspapers, but we didn't have them. Okay. The propaganda always making us out to be extremists and separatists. In 1975, something interesting happened. I want you all to understand this. You know, there's what's happening in Punjab and there's what's happening in India. This bit is about what's happening in India. Indira Gandhi, you heard about her? Indira Gandhi was running India. She got convicted of electoral fraud. She got convicted of fraud, yeah? And they were going to take her off. She was taken off as Prime Minister. She's about to lose power. What did she do? Yeah? Declared emergency and took over India. She just got rid of government. She goes, oh, there's an emergency. What was the emergency? Indira Gandhi's not going to be in power. That was the emergency. She got rid of the constitution, took over India. And all over India, people were protesting for democracy. Sikhs made up 40% of those that were arrested in the fight for independence for India from Indira Gandhi's tyranny. What's the word I forget now? Tyranny. Yeah. Sikhs were hailed as the bastions of democracy. That's what they were described as in the Indian press. Sikhs are the bastions of democracy. They've saved democracy because they protested. We're only 2% of the population. 40% of those that were arrested were Sikhs. So we were in massive numbers. Yeah. Indira Gandhi got very annoyed by this. There's a letter from Indira. You know Indira Gandhi's dad? Who is he? Nehru. You know that it's not Gandhi. Yeah, Mohandas Gandhi was not her dad or granddad. But Indira Gandhi is very clever. What she would do is she would get a picture of Gandhi, then her dad, and her. And she would make it look like this, like one family. Of course, her surname is Gandhi, isn't it? But her husband wasn't called Gandhi. Her husband was not Gandhi. They made up that surname, and then she just took on basically her, she not even her Mohandas Gandhi surname, and sounded like she was like the successor. Very clever scheme, yeah. Aam Banda don't know that much. Aam Banda don't know too much now. So this is what's happening. Gandhi comes into power. She gets given a letter by her dad. Her dad said to her when she was in university, my daughter, for the sake of a group of people, you can kill one person. For the sake of a community, you can kill one group. And they said, for the sake of a nation, you can kill one community. You sacrifice a community. Now she realizes she needs to sacrifice one community to keep India together. Why is that? Because to become popular, create an enemy. Hitler did it, created the Jews, became very popular. Yeah? In Britain, Margaret Thatcher has a war with the Falklands, with Argentina over the Falklands. No one cares about the Falklands in England. किसी ने कोई परवाह नहीं है युद्ध की हो रही है. No one cares. But Margaret Thatcher had to become popular. And so she created the Argentinians as some kind of enemy, and she had a war with them. And she became popular and she won. The same thing that Indira Gandhi did. She painted the Sikhs out to be the problem, trying to destroy India. Khalistani terrorists. Every day, Khalistani terrorists, Khalistani terrorists. Yeah? And Sikhs were getting defamed in the media all the time. And all of what we were trying to do is get the right to the constitution. Anyway, going through this. So, in 1978, anti-Sikh group, the Nakli Nirankaris, they killed 13 Sikhs in Amritsar. Yeah? While the police is watching. Police do nothing. The police is very brutal against the Sikhs that are protesting in Dharam Yudh Morcha. Sorry, just in 1982, so it's been 11 years of us trying to get the Anandpur Sahib resolution put in. We couldn't get anywhere. So in 1982, Santaji and many of the people like Sant Longawal and places, they all decided, right, you know what we need to do now? It's going to be do or die. 11 years we tried, we haven't succeeded. We're going to do or die. We're going to do as much as we can to get this Anandpur Sahib resolution implemented. Dharam Yudh Morcha was formed. The head of Dharam Yudh Morcha was Sant Longawal. It was not Sant Jarnail Singh Ji. Sant Jarnail Singh Ji was a preacher. He was a pracharak. That's what they were. They get picked out as that. They become very popular. They got a lot of Sikhs to leave the gun and take Amrit. So then the Indira Gandhi needed a boogeyman. Have you guys heard about the Iraq war, yeah? Iraq war, everything, yeah? Have you heard of this guy called Zarqawi? Is he familiar to you? You know Zarqawi was painted out to be the head of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. He wasn't. Everybody knew he wasn't, but they made him out to be one. Why did they make him out to be one? It's all politics. Let me explain to you how the media works, yeah? You can't hate a group of people. Very hard to hate 100,000 people. It's easy to hate one person. So what do you pick one person up? Say he's the problem. Everybody hates that person. It's easy to hate one person. Then you say, to get rid of this person, you must do X, Y, and Z. And people say, go and then do it. Get rid of that person. The same way they did with Zarqawi. Zarqawi was painted out to be this massive guy. He wasn't. He was a small-time bit player. He didn't even like Al-Qaeda. Him and Bin Laden didn't get along. And every time they kept saying, he's the head of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. Everything that went wrong, Zarqawi did it. Nothing to do with him. He done it. He made him out to be some boogeyman so they could hate him. And they would sanction anything that needed to get rid of Zarqawi. Same thing they did with Sant Jarnail Singh Ji Pindrawale. Anything that happened in Punjab, Sanji's men did it. No matter what happened, Sanji done it. Yeah? No matter what, every day, Sant Jarnail Singh Ji's men did this. There's a video they asked this, Mark Tully went to this, you know the people that lost their jobs from the army? Yeah, they were like boys that quit their jobs in the army, went to save Harmandir Sahib. He went and interviewed those people and he said to them, did Sant Jarnail Singh Ji put you up to this? They said no. Now why would you ask that question and put it in your, if somebody says to you, did they put it up? You say no, they didn't. You wouldn't print it. But they keep printing it even now. As if it's implying that Sant Jarnail Singh was going out to people and saying, go and do this, quit your job in the army, go and do this. They weren't doing that. People were coming to them and they were saying, this is what I would suggest you do. They were not going and recruiting people for this, but they made him out to be some kind of big boogeyman terrorist guy, yeah? And the Indians even now are scared of his name. Yeah? It's like Hari Singh Nalwa for the Afghanis, right? So, this is the political game that was being played against us, propaganda war. Okay? And like I said, the last bit there, the mass movement with several leaders is now portrayed by the government as solely led by Sant Pindrawale, who is demonized as an extremist separatist. Sanji was asked many times, do you want Khalistan? What did he say?
Not for it, no.
He said,
Not against it.
I'm not for it, I'm not against it. But I'll take it if you give it to me, he said. But I'm not asking for it. How does he become a Khalistani then? If you're a true Khalistani, now look, Sikh is all about speaking what you think, right? Mara says, Jinaman mohor mukhor se kande kachya. If you got one thing in your mind, something else in your mouth, then you're fake. Sanjay Singh is saying very clearly, I'm not for Khalistan or against Khalistan, we're for our rights in India. And so you're a terrorist then. You get it? You're damned, whatever you do, you're damned. The whole game was that the Sikhs had to look like the crazy people, and Indira Gandhi was going to come down hard upon the Sikhs. Somebody had to go, somebody Shahidi had to happen, yeah? She was going to come down hard upon the Sikhs, and what was India going to think? The rest of India. Well done, Indira Gandhi. You solved our problem. The problem wasn't there. They created it on paper, and then she was going to come and destroy it. And the idea was to teach us a lesson that you don't have to be so clever, you don't have to be so popular. Stay where you are. You're 2%. Stay in your little box and don't talk to anybody. Yeah. What we're giving you, be happy with it. And also, India will be like, yay, well done, Gandhi. Solve the problem. I'm being simplifying it a little bit, but really that was what it was. Yeah. The whole game was designed to make Indira Gandhi more popular.
Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.